As always, text someone, call someone, even take a message and put it around a pigeon and fly it to someone and tell that someone that you appreciate them. Because where we are in life today, we did not get here by ourselves. Welcome to the M1 File. My name is Dr. Ivory L. Taylor. Maybe a little late, but I want to talk to students. College students are students that are thinking about going to past 12th grade. I was talking to a friend this weekend. He's retired. And he's taking care of his grandchildren. And he was sharing with me one of his sons who's now a freshman in school. And he has wet feet. In other words, he's kind of shaky, he's kind of scared, especially being away from home. And most grandparents, not all now, okay, we kind of spoil our grandchildren because we have this thing about we don't have to rear them because that's for mom and dad, so we kind of spoil them. But in this case, something happened with the parents, so the grandparents had to rear the children. And the young man, he's in school, but he's a little scared, a little shaky. And I'm assuming that there are many others because another friend of mine's daughter is at LSU. All of her life she wanted to be a vet because she loved animals. So to her, that's one of the best schools to go to. A lot of kids go to school and sometimes things happen good, sometimes things happen bad. Sometimes they come home early, sometimes they end up going other places in life. And also, some kids go and do well, and they sprout in life and go do great things. I just want to share a couple of things with parents or even with students. So please share this with others. I'm hoping that this may help you. If you have the time or you make the time, try to go to a school that has a good workforce development program or a good enrichment program. Not all schools have that. Some schools live off of yesterday's reputation or what happened many, many years ago, and they don't refresh themselves. But remember, if you're going to go to a flagship school, it costs. Some schools cost $10,000 a year, $11,000, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, and move on. They cost. And if you go into a school that after your 24 months there, or 48 months there, or 60 months, whatever your degree, and you can't find a job, that's a whole lot of money to invest. And you out here praying and crying Jesus because you can't find a job. So on the front end, if you have the opportunity, now all people may not have this opportunity because you have to play with what you have. It's like playing cards sometimes. Whatever your hand you have, you got to try to make the best of it. But if you do, try to find a flagship school. They have a good workforce development program and a good enrichment program. And what I mean by that, ask the dean or ask the representative or whoever it is, do you have an internship program? That during my my sophomore or junior year, I can go on an intern. Because as a CEO myself, one of the first things I ask people, do you have an experience? And most students say, how can I have experience when I've been in school? I have the education, but no experience. And as a CEO, the things we look at is our bottom line. We don't want our bottom line to be red. We want it to be green. In order to do that, we will have to invest training development on our side. And you guys, any company CEO or CFO whose company is moving forward or trying to move forward, training dollars cost that company, because they can train you. 6 months later, you're gone, and the company is left there training someone else. So those dollars you don't get back. So try to find a school and ask them, do you all have a internship? If they don't, well then put some question marks there. Try not to go to a school because your friends go in there. You can always make new friends. Remember, you are investing money and your time. So if I can use the word selfish, kind of be a little selfish. Say, I'm going to school to invest in me. Invest in me. Maybe a little selfish, but you may have to do that. Because you may go to school to be with a friend, and the friend fall in love, and they go up other places, and you're stuck by yourself. So let school be something that's very personal with you. If the school does not have an internship program, but they have other things there that you like, I want you to get your phone, to get your laptop or whatever it is, and go to your Russell 5000. These are companies who are not in the Dow, and we know the Dow is your top 30 companies. But these are your top 5,000 companies. Maybe the rest of 10,000. And these companies are divided in sections according to what industry they're in. Maybe finance, maybe manufacturing, on and on, on and on. And you look at what you want to major in. And you write these companies a letter and ask them, how can you intern with them? What are the intern procedures? Are there policies? Or do they have an internship program? And this way, your sophomore year, you get a chance to go and intern in some of these companies. Now you'll be able to get experience. Also, there are many companies out there that only have an internship program, but they will pay you the intern. In other words, they're going to give you money to come in and intern. And if you're able to do that, that means that you're going to learn something and they're going to learn something. They're going to learn about, do you fit the future of their company? You're going to learn real world. Because most of the time, you may be leaving your parents' home and never really test what real life is all about. Just give you an opportunity. The Russell 5000. Just take a little time, do your research, find those companies, and say, can I intern with you? What's your internship policies or procedures? And put the name out there. Remember this here. You have to put your time in order to become an achiever. Now, we can define this word achievement all kind of ways. But if you want to go a little higher, you have to put your time in. It's the same with an athlete. It's getting ready for a ball game or a tennis game or gymnastics or whatever it is. You got to put your time in. Because the more time you put in, you'll be able to evaluate the outcome. Also, learn your professor. Make sure your professor know you and you know that professor. If after class you walk up to her and say, well, I want you to know that my name is Ivory Taylor. I'm from wherever. I'm in your class. Learn that professor. You don't have to like the professor to learn from the professor. But remember, you're going to school to learn. In order to learn, sometimes you must be challenged. But sometimes people go to school and say, well, I don't like him, I don't like her, and what happens? You shut down and you refuse to learn. But remember, you're paying them to teach you. You're paying them. And if you go to school on a scholarship, there's some money still coming out some kind of way. If not, your time. If I'm teaching biology and you sit in my class for an hour or 2 hours and you don't like me and you shut down and you refuse to learn, that's not being very smart there. Learn your professor. You know what you know. Try to learn what he or she knows. Then when you exit that class, you're better. But if you go into class and you're going to protest against the class, you're going to go in the class and you're going to go to sleep in the class, you go in the class with a bad attitude, you've lost your money and you're wasting your time. So kind of look at that a little bit and says, I want to learn my professor. I want to learn what research they're doing and how it benefits me. Because if you go to school for 4 years, it's only 48 months. And you're going to walk away better. Okay. Don't let people use you while you're in school. Sometimes people will use you for their cause or for their movement. It has nothing to do with you, but they will use you to escalate what they believe in. So be very careful with that. If you feel that a person is using you, tell them, say, hey, that's not what I do. And just walk away. Because you're going to school in order to better who you are, whether it's through enrichment or workforce development. Through enrichment or workforce development. And what I mean by the enrichment, it makes you better. In other words, it's going to strengthen your character. It's going to strengthen you be a better father, a better mother, a better citizen, on and on and on. Or it's going to enable you to get a better job that you can pay back this debt. Okay, so enrichment or workforce development. I said before, you got to put your time in study. Don't go in a class saying, this is too hard. If you put your time in, you'll make it through. And don't let people influence you in saying, you don't want to go to that professor there, he or she will flunk you, it's too hard. You go there. Let it be a challenge to you. Say, I'm coming to school to be challenged. And most of the time, if you have that attitude, the best is going to come out of you. The best is going to come out of you. If you think that you need to study 2 hours, so be it. Put your time in. I do understand that we have cell phones and laptops and all type of technology and software that we can stay in our room. But sometimes the environment dictates how we learn or how far we're willing to go. Find out the library on campus. Don't run from the library. Sometimes it's very difficult to study in your room because sometimes we have a roommate, there's noise down the hall where somebody always knocking on the door. Don't be scared to go to the library. Don't be afraid to go there. Find your little corner there and put your time in. Put your time in. The library is a very good environment that you can study. Put your time in. Because the more time you put in, you're going to find out the better you are. So don't waste your time and don't waste your money. Also, usually your sophomore going to your junior year, we call it retention. This is where a lot of students fall out. They give up. They change their major. They just say, well, school is not for me. They go through this maturity thing there. That sophomore going to your junior year. Don't let that be you. You get a bachelor's degree, it's 48 months, somewhere in there. I think it's 120 hours, 130 hours, semester hours. So look at that and say, I'm on a mission. My mission is to invest in me. And this is what my outcome looks like. Now, there are some good stories of people who have gone through and did great things. Then there are some bad stories of people who fell by the wayside. I have some friends who have shared some things with me about their kids. And I've had some things that I share with some friends about my kids, my children. Remember this, and people are going to tell you all kind of things. You're growing to womanhood or you're growing to manhood. And you don't have all the answers. You don't have all the answers. So try to adopt something called listening skills. Try to adopt it. Say, you know what? I'm going to learn how to listen. Because the old timers can share some things with you. Whether it's good or bad, they can share some things with you. And you find out that people who have strong listening skills, they make better decisions. And you will see them do great things up the road, if you let me use that type of analysis. So the ones who are going to school have an open mind. Sure, you want to enjoy this time in your life. But remember, you're going to college in order to be challenged and to be better. You're not going to college to just have a good time. You can have a good time staying home. I understand the fraternities. I understand this right. I understand that. I do. I get it. I'm a Sigma. I get it. I get it. But I also knew that I had to invest in that. So I want you to look at this while you're in school. I had a friend of mine that sent their son to Xavier. Xavier, it costs, I think tuition fee is like 20-some thousand. It's high. Very good school. Very good school. And the young man went there and flunked out. And he told his parents it was the professor didn't like it. And when they shared that with me, I said, no. He spent his time down on Bourbon Street. Because what happened, he was kind of sheltered at home. So when he got to New Orleans, he just said, wow! And he just had a good time. He had a good time. But he wasted almost $40,000 because they had room and board that bought him a car on and on. And he had to bring it home. Someone got to pay that $40,000. And most likely it's the parents. But the young man had a good time. All he had to do was maybe that Friday go down Bourbon Street, stay a couple hours, and come on back home, go to the library and put the time in. What I'm saying, if you're a 12th grader looking for a college or institution, do your due diligence. Look for a school that has a workforce development emphasis or enrichment emphasis, that has a strong internship program. And also, if you can, dig a little bit deeper and find out what professors on campus, what research they're doing. Don't go to school to fall in love. You got time. Seriously, you got time. You got time. Very close friend of mine. He wanted to be an engineer all of his life that I knew him. He got a chance to go to Ole Miss. He fell in love his first semester. Now, he don't want to be an engineer no more because to be an engineer, it takes more time and study. I said, young man, love gonna wait. Love, seriously, love will wait. Love will wait, seriously. I mean, it will wait. I mean, really, seriously. I mean, really. I used to think the same thing. I did. Seriously, I did. But seriously, it will wait. It will wait. If the school do not have an internship program, go to your Russell 5000. Just type in Russell 5000 companies. They're going to come up in all type of industries. And you write these companies or look on their webpage and see can you become a part of the internship program and get involved. Then that way, your senior year, but when you graduate, you have the academia part, and also you have the workforce part. If you ever listen to me, I always says, you got one life, unless you believe in reincarnation. And you can make some boo-boo decisions that will cost you years to turn those decisions around. You're going to make some mistakes in life. That's just how life is. But try not to make mistakes that will be so much intense that will cause years to turn to get it right again. We all have our storms in life. All of us. All of us. I do jail ministry sometime, and when I go in the jailhouse and talk to young men, I'm not going on the women's side, I'm on the men's side. These are young people. We have 10 years. No parole. 5 years. 15 years. And they have kids. Bad decisions that cost them. Now, I don't feel sorry for them because they made that decision. So, to wrap things up, remember this. If you're a freshman in school, or either if you're a sophomore or junior, or whatever it is, remember, companies are asking, do you have experience? And you're saying, how can I get experience when I can't find a good job? Well, ask the school or find companies that have internships that you can jump those internships, learn and learn and learn. But remember, you can't go in that person's job and tell that person how to run their company. You're there to learn. Now, if you to tell that person how they can increase their bottom line, that's different. But you're there to learn. Try to develop the skill that's called listening skills. Learn to listen. You go far in life. Learn your professor. Learn what research your professor is doing. Because you may want to go to graduate school. And if you go to a flagship graduate school, most of the time someone will have to recommend you. And don't never think professors don't talk to each other. And you may want to leave there and go to a doctorate program. And if you go there, most of the time you need to have a letter or someone recommending you. I'm talking to flagship schools now. I'm not talking about schools that that is out there. I'm talking about flagship schools. I'll never forget when I was in graduate school at Ole Miss, there were some smart people in that class. And there was a young lady, I mean, she was smart. It takes me 3 or 4 hours to learn about Marilyn Hunter and all these people here, and Gardner and all these people. She just come in class and just scan her notes and just boom, gone on. It's about 3 or 4 in that class. But they came in class late, and they had some problem with the professor. And when they applied to the doctoral program, they got a rejection. And they were sharing their story with me. And I said, you guys didn't get in the doctoral program? They said, no. Because what happened was they had a bad rapport with the professor. Bad relationship with the professor. And in order to get into a flagship school, doctoral program, sometimes you need a little letter. I'm not saying kiss up to the professor, but it doesn't hurt to be nice. It doesn't hurt to be respectful. You don't have to love a person to work with a person. You don't have to love a person in order to respect a person. No, you don't. Because what happened? A letter followed you. It's the same thing in the job market. When you quit a job the wrong way, and you apply for the job, and you put that person's name, they will call back and say, was Ivory a good employee? And I would say, well, he worked here. The other person understands that. So, other words, I want you to put on your thinking cap. I want you to take time to make decisions. Don't be so quick to just do this right here. Be quick to learn here. Don't mind being challenged, because sometimes being challenged brings the best out of you. And try to drive to be successful. And whatever your definition is, try your best to drive to become that. And remember, you only get one life. And you can make a decision that will bring a stormy life. Or you can make some decisions that will have sunshine life, that you'll be able to help someone else. Thank you for your time. I wish you a great success in school. A great success in school. And remember, you got to put the time in. Thank you very much, and safe travels.
Hi, I'm Deidre Malone, the host of Dialogue with Deidre. You can find us on the M1 TV network on YouTube. Subscribe and follow us. You can also find us on Facebook at M1 TV Network, Twitter, M1 TV Network 2, and Instagram, M1 TV Network 2. Please follow us so you can keep up to date with what's going on the M1 TV network with Dialogue with Deidre and Black Thought.